Gyan, and we have recently started, and we believe that people should spend their time in the hobbies or passion that they have. They should follow their passion religiously, and they should spend some of their time on the hobby or the passion that they have, at least for some time in a week, because that is much needed during this pressure life, which is where we are seeing a lot of pressure nowadays, from either from job or from family or from anything else. We are seeing a lot of pressure in this fast-paced life. We need to slow down and follow our heart, follow our passion, and do whatever it takes to accomplish and reach to the next goal, so that we are healthy, fit, and fine. And from that perspective, we have started this new venture where we are coming up with different hobby-related classes, as well as whatever it is non-academics. We don't want to people to put again more pressure on themselves. So whatever it is non-academics, we are coming up with classes for those things, like music, instruments, singing, arts, crafts, dance, camera, all kind of things which are not academics. Languages, learn new languages. So from that same perspective, we have come up, and this is one of our sessions in that vision, which is now being conducted by Dara. So on that note, thank you all for joining this session. I'll hand over the mic to Dara, and she can take it forward from there.
Yeah, thank you, Deepak. A warm welcome and good afternoon, everyone. So, before we start, I would like to actually know why have you all, if any one of you all can answer this, what is the objective for you all to join this session? Like, why do you want to know why is German language important? Do you have any connection with it? Are you having any plans in studying abroad or working somewhere? So it would be great if some of you can answer these questions or let me know about it. Yeah,
Hello,
yeah.
I'm Rohit. Actually, I'm looking for MS in Germany. That's why I'm started a German language, learning new language.
Okay, okay. Have you all, in which standard are you in?
I have completed my mechanical.
Okay, okay,
Now I started application for MS.
okay, okay. All right, Rohit. Thank you. Anybody else who would want to share? Anybody? No? Well, okay. How many of y'all have already done a little bit of German language learning or have already learned to some extent? Can someone probably just raise your hand or can unmute and speak? Yes, Shaurya.
Ma'am, I've learned German,
Okay,
but I didn't learn it fully.
okay, you've learned it in school, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Which standard?
Fourth.
Okay, okay, Shaurya. All right. Thank you, Shaurya. Rohit, you also wanted to say something?
Oh, Mama, I have completed A1 level.
You completed from which place?
Pune.
Yeah, through which institute have you learned?
Actually, I didn't give a exam, but I have certificate of A1 level from local institute.
Okay, okay, all right. Anybody else who has learned German? Nobody? Okay, fine. So let me just share my screen with you all so that you get a rough idea about German language. Why is it important to learn German? What are its benefits, etc. Yeah, so just give me a moment. I hope you are able to see the screen. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Fine. So let me just talk about initially why German is important. German is quite important because it is the most widely spoken language in Europe, and as you all know, Germany is the most important economy or most important country of Europe. You will find that its economy is just growing ahead, and it's quite its products, its education, everything is quite famous all over the world. German is not only spoken in Germany, but it is also spoken in Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Belgium, and Luxembourg. So there are around 6 countries where German is spoken as its official language. Yeah, that is why German becomes important to be known or to be learned, especially when you want to get associated with Germany or with Europe. There are quite many job opportunities worldwide, and if you know a second language, it's very, very important. Now, if you have done engineering, Germany, as you all know, it's an automobile sector. Hence, it is important that you learn German when you talk about engineering. Okay. Not only that, even if you are into medical, there are quite many healthcare and medicine job possibilities in Germany. Apart from that, you can see that there are vast opportunities related to tourism or IT, which is growing a lot, financial service outsourcing. There are quite many outsourcing works or opportunities coming to Germany, Austria, and Switzerland in India, especially from IT sector. Now, when you talk about automobile sector, you all know there are quite many big companies like BMW, Volkswagen, Bosch, then Audi. There are many of them, and other big Germany powerhouses are Adidas, Allianz, then Deutsche Bank, Siemens, which is quite famous, Lufthansa, etc. So if you are having German language skills, it helps you to upgrade your CV. It will be very, very, you will get a first-hand opportunity as compared to others when you go to seek jobs. It's not only in India but in Europe also. Now, what is the career scope of German in India? Now, you will see that there are several international companies that have set up their businesses in India. And now, due to this coronavirus, where China is responsible, there are so many MNCs that are leaving from China and coming to India and Vietnam. So, India is going to be a very big hub in future where lot many MNCs would be coming. Just to know for your reference, there are around 3,000 German companies, only German companies that have their offices only in Pune. I'm talking these numbers for only Pune. So when you talk about all over India, there would be so many German companies that have their setup in India. Yeah, so it will increase lot of job opportunities when you talk of learning German, especially in India. Yeah. Now I'll just give you a few uh, importance of German language. So probably I don't know if everybody would be knowing about it. There are 80% of books that are published worldwide, they are in German language. So if you know German language, lot of translation of books are done. So from English to other to German language, say from Hindi, Marathi, Sanskrit, from various other regional languages, Indian regional languages. Also, there are books which are translated and published in German language. Just for your information, there are so many Sanskrit books in Germany. I think it is in the library of one of the libraries in the city of Bonn, where they have said that they have so many Sanskrit books, which even India, even in Kashi, you will not find so many Sanskrit books. So that is why publishing is very, very important. That is why if you know German language, you can take this as one of the opportunity. You can study and work in Germany.
Just a second, before we move forward, this is a user who's saying that she is not able to see the screen. Can you please unpresent and present again?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute. Okay. I hope it's visible for everyone now.
It's visible to me. Aditi, can you please confirm, or anybody else who is not able to see, if they can just let us know? Yeah, she's able to see it, and
All
since
right.
nobody else has said, we are good.
Okay, fine, great. So now, if you know German language, you can study and work in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Belgium, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg. All these places you can study as well as work. Now, if you're studying in Germany, everybody knows that a German degree is respected all over the world. German education is respected and it has got its own value. So, learning or studying in Germany is also would help you a lot if you are comparing it with studying in some other places like US. If you want to do a MS in US or in other countries, it is better to do in Germany. Another very important thing is if you're studying in Germany, then tuition fees in many universities are free. Yeah, so there's no cost of tuition fees. So the cost of your studies will reduce to a larger amount if you're studying in Germany rather than any other countries. Okay. If you want to travel or if you want to make your career in travel, tourism, or hospitality, again, learning German becomes important. There are so many interpreters, there are so many travel guides who actually travel from India to Germany or from Germany to India to explain or to talk about various places in German or in Hindi or in English. You know, Okay, now if you have there's a research that is done that German language is quite popular in India. So the first language that is popular in India is French, and the second one is German. Now French is very popular because in many colleges and in schools, French is taken or French is used as a second language, whereas German is quite popular, especially in the corporate sector because there are quite many automobile companies and quite many IT companies that are coming from Germany. Yeah. Uh, any doubts here, or can I continue? Okay, I could hear something. So, anyways, now you can also see that German has been promoted in India since long time. Since 1957, there was this institute called Max Miller Bhavan, which is inaugurated in Kolkata, and which is you will find its centers all over India. Only the thing is, they have got their own set of timings and durations, and the fees over there is also quite high if you want to learn German over there. Um, so you will find many places or many institutes, schools, colleges, and language institutes also where German has to be there. That is why it becomes very popular in India. If you are interested in science and technology also, you can make your career in this stream too. There are quite many scientists working in Germany, and you will not believe there are quite many job opportunities related to research and development in Germany. Okay. Um, I have also mentioned a few great scientists who are from German speaking world: Einstein, Kepler, Röntgen, Planck, Virchow. These are all. Can I just request everyone to mute yourself? I can hear a lot of traffic noise. Maybe others will not be able to hear my voice. Thank you. Yeah, so there are quite many great scientists in Germany. So a lot of scientific work, research work related to physics, chemistry, medicine. A lot of research work is done in Germany. So you can think about this sector also, or if you are into this sector, you can learn German too. Now, knowing German creates business opportunities. So, as I told you, there are more than 2,000 major American firms who do business in German speaking countries. Yeah, so more than 1,000 German companies do business in US. So, this is just in US, whereas in India, there are more than that. Yeah. This I had just given you a reference of estimated jobs for Americans. I didn't have an exact data for estimated jobs for Indians, so I was not able to put that, but it is more than whatever you can see on the screen. There's a very good saying by a former German Chancellor, Willy Brandt. He said, "If I'm selling to you, I speak your language. If I'm buying from you, dann müssen Sie Deutsch sprechen." That means if I buy from you, then you should speak German. Means the buyer has got an upper hand and he would want the seller to speak that particular language. So hence, if you're doing any business in Germany, they would of course want or expect that you learn German so that you know its culture, you know its business culture, the way they do businesses or they work over there, and it becomes easier and you have a smooth process. Okay. Knowing German can boost your annual salary by 4% in Europe. By 4% in Europe, it could be even more. So there is a statistics. You can just go through that. Accumulated language bonuses. In German, you get the highest bonus if you've learned German language. Then second comes for French, third is an average one, and the fourth one is for Spanish. Yeah, this is the source which I could get from the Economist. Okay, when you also search on internet, you will see that second language used by internet is of German. That means 57% of world's websites are in English and 7% of world websites are in German, followed by Japanese for 5%, Chinese 5%, and Spanish 4%. So when you talk about content writing or content development, web development, website translations, German will have an upper hand after English. German is not that difficult as how much you think. One, the script that we write, it is just like English. Okay? So hence, you don't have to learn the script. Only the pronunciation is different. So one level you have already achieved. Like if you are doing Japanese, Chinese, or Korean, you have to learn the script also. Here, that does not happen. German is quite related to Sanskrit. It is quite related to our regional languages, especially Hindi and Marathi. So learning German becomes quite easier as compared to other languages. Whatever you write, that is what you speak. In French, generally you might have observed what you write and what you speak is different. In German, it's not so. Whatever you are writing, that is what you're speaking. Hence, that is why they say that if you know the pronunciation well, you can spell and you can write German correctly. Yeah. Okay. Let me come take you to career opportunities now. Before this, I had spoken about why is German language important. Now, I just want to tell you about few career opportunities. So you can work in many. First opportunity that I could tell you is if you have mentioned German language skill, many German companies will absorb you on the spot. If you have same kind of skill, same kind of experience as other candidate, only that extra thing that you have is German language skill, the HR or the recruiter will not think much in detail and will absorb you in the organization because they would want people who have already learned or known German, especially in German MNCs. Okay. Apart from that, it will open your horizon not only into automobile or engineering sector, but also in healthcare, also in mass media, entertainment, tourism, IT, export and import services, outsourcing things, even for marketing. You would not believe I am getting so many opportunities where marketing research, I can sit over here and I can do marketing research just because I know German language. It's just through WhatsApp, I do all research, questions and details to be asked to the clients, a few customers sitting over here just because I know that language. If you know the language well, you can also work as translators, interpreters, proofreaders, writers, and as well as trainers. You can train in companies, you can be a teacher in a school, in colleges, in language institutes, so many places. You can also get a job opportunity in German embassies or in consulates. Okay. This I have almost mentioned that there are quite many outsourcing and offshore work, which is given by very big corporate clients, giants like Amazon, Accenture, then Symantec. All these they give you outsourcing projects just because you know German. Yeah. If you are wanting to do any business, you want to do any trading, Germany is a very good country or an important country where you should be doing a business, you should be thinking of expanding. Because they say if you have expanded or if you have one of the offices in Germany, there is a lot of respect and a lot of credibility earned or given to you. Okay. Berlin, as you all know, it's the capital of Germany. It is also becoming a capital of innovative startups. There are n number of startups coming up in Germany, and you can be a part of it just by knowing the language. In Germany, if you want to work for a German company or in Germany, German language is very, very important. They give a lot of importance for people who already know German rather than people who don't know German at all. I'd also mentioned earlier a lot of publications happen, so you can work there as editors or you can work there as translators for books. So, as I said, 1 in 10 books are translated in German language. That is why a lot of editors are also needed. This was related to career opportunities. Before I go to study in Germany, I would just want to ask you all questions. Do you all have any questions or any doubts related to this? Anybody who wants to ask me something?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Shweta here. Hi. Could you elaborate more on the trainer part of the career opportunity by learning German?
Elaborate in the sense you want.
Like which institutes or which colleges in particular are giving opportunities to trainers, like German trainers?
See, one, you can work as a freelancer also where you can take online classes. Second, you can go to quite many MBA colleges. They have German as their one of the foreign languages. You can also go to schools. There are quite many schools where German language is taught to students. You can also go to companies. There are so many companies where they require German language trainers.
Okay, and the expectation would be to complete C1 and C2, or I mean, when you say you have to become a trainer,
It again depends from college or institute to institute. Many institutes they would absorb trainers if you have basic skills up to P1 or P2. Then also they absorb they hire trainers. So it again depends upon what kind of institutes you are teaching. In schools, I guess they would require a diploma certificate. So I
Okay.
say I.
Okay. Okay. That answers my question. Thank you so much.
Have you already done German? Hello.
Sorry, I'm actually based out of Switzerland.
Okay.
So here it's more Swiss German that they speak. It's not like German German. But then yeah, so I was just wondering what are the opportunities if I have to come back to India? Um, like what are the levels that you have to be aware of to get?
But Swiss German and the German spoken in Germany is quite different. So
Yes, yes. The dialect is very different, like how it is across various parts of India. But then what they teach here as well is German, and then you change the dialect as you keep moving across the cantons. So
all right, all right. So probably you can just learn German. Maybe you can just give directly. You can just give a C1 or B2 exam, and then you can probably check with schools or colleges here.
okay, okay. Thank you so much. That answers my question.
All right. And anybody else who has any questions? Okay, fine. So let me take. Yes. Can you, your voice is not that audible. Can you just speak a bit louder? Yeah. There, see, there are many software that are used like Trados and all. So probably you need to go through softwares. There are also translation courses that happen. So it is preferred if you do a translation course. Translators course, I know is of only Maximum Urban where they have translators course. That you'll have to check because each branch has got different, courses. In Pune, Bombay, there are translators, translation courses. Or maybe you can try for an online translation course. Yeah, in Pune branch there is. Any more questions related to career? Okay, fine. So if there are no questions, I'll take you all ahead to study in Germany. So now I will just first tell you the process of how you need to plan, and then you need to plan, your study in Germany. Before I start, I just want to give you one very important thing. What I would be saying would vary region to region. Now, in Germany also there are different states, different universities. They may have different kind of rules and regulations. What I am giving you is just an overall rules and regulations. It may differ from colleges, from universities, and it may differ from region to region. So when you are selecting it, please, when you select a particular university, go through that university and check for the guidelines. Okay. Now, a very important thing. Now, if you are planning for a study to Germany, you have to have a plan 15 months before you actually want to go. That is the timeline. So, before 15 months, what you are supposed to do, I'll just tell you. You need to start gathering information about what are the study opportunities in Germany. Try to fill up the requirements for studying. See whether you have got all the documents, especially your school living certificate. Will it be sufficient? Because in many universities they require 12 plus 1, 13 years of study. So you need to see that. Some universities may not require a language test. Most of them do require. So you have to check on that, start learning German language if you want to study over there. Also see how your finance will be managed when you are studying over there. There are quite many scholarships also available you can try to avail those scholarships and see how much percentage can be given by the government of Germany, and rest you can pay for. This all research has to be done 15 months before you actually want to go. 9 months before your trip, decide a degree or a program and the university. Contact its office, the university office, try to get information about it, try to start preparing about it. 5 months before you want to begin, prepare and submit your application of admission. Note down the submission deadline. See that you submit your application for much before the deadlines. You need to also check whether where you want to stay, how can you apply for the room, etc. So that all has to be checked. Do you need a visa for it? How do you need to apply for it? For applying for a visa also, you would require a language test to be done. You would need a health insurance policy, which you'll have to get it done from here itself. So all these things have to be done 4 to 5 months before you want to go. About 1 month before your trip, see that you have all your documents, plan where you're going to stay, how you're going to spend, try to research about that place, about that region, etc. How do you select your degree program and the university? So I don't know if you all are aware, there are around 426 officially recognized institutions in Germany. Okay, now how do you decide about your college? There are three types that you choose from them. They are universities, then universities of applied sciences, colleges of art, film, and music, and then you also have public versus private universities. Yeah, so you have to decide from these. There are these three types or four types, you can say. Sorry, three types where you have to select from. Public and private all come under these three. You have public universities of applied sciences, public colleges of art, film, and music, as well as private for all these three. Now, meeting the admission processes, what all require, there are quite number of things that you require. So first of all, you have to see that you have completed 13 years of schooling. How will you cover up that 1 year bridge program? That also you'll have to see. Second, you should see that how much level of German language is needed. Some universities require till B1, some require till B2. So to just for your information, we have A1, A2, B1, B2, B2.1, B2.2, C1, and C2. These are the language levels. So if you completed till B1 or B2, then that is also sufficient. You'll have to just check with your university how much is sufficient, language course. So for language test, you have test DRF, that is what it is called as, that is test of German as foreign language, or you have DSH, that is German language university entrance examination. So this German language university entrance examination can be different for different universities. Um, for each course, as I told you, Indian students meet will have to meet a minimum German language requirement, and it needs to have around 70% of academic record. So you have to consider all these things. When you are giving a German language examination, always remember that according to European language framework, 60% is the passing. So you will have to uh, score more than that. You will have to also see that you are about 18 years when you want to join a degree program. What all documents are required to be submitted? So you need attested copies of mark sheets of standard 10, 12, bachelor's degree if you are going for master's degree. Two academic reference letters from professors who have taught you recently. So you can take letters from professors of your college. You need to get it attested also. Uh, letter of recommendation you would require if you are working, or if you are already a professional, you can get it from your employer or manager also. Statement of purpose, and a resume that you need to give. Statement of purpose is why you want to study over there, why are you choosing that university. You will have to write a proper essay regarding that. You have to think and write it well. That is also required. So photocopied score reports of language test as well as of GRE or GMAT if it is required. Um, you require a complete portfolio in case you are applying for art and design courses or architecture programs. For others, just certificates or achievements. If you have at any state or national level, or any extracurricular activities will add to it. You know, proof of funds. How will you fund your studies? Say loan or account balance, all that is required. Health insurance, again, this is very, very important over there. Without health insurance, you will not even get a visa. Okay. uh, Most of these colleges or universities, they would accept online applications, but please check on the college website so that you know the exact application dates, because it would be different for different colleges or universities. Now, as I told you, the admission process, how it is, all colleges require that you pay an application fee while applying. So when you're applying also, you have to pay a fee. The amount will differ from college to college and the courses that you apply for. Okay. Now here given are the common steps of applying for admission. First, you are searching for colleges and courses. Then you need to contact them, visit their website, get down the information, see what kind of documents you require, whether you have to take an extra entrance exams like language test or GMAT or GRE. Of course, you will have to write the SOPs also, but please, note down what all is required. Apply to the college which fits for your interest. Then there could be video interviews. If the college has shortlisted you, you will have to think about how will you present yourself in front of them. So all that has to be thought about, researched about, and studied. You know. Now, when you are talking about intake sessions, there are main sessions that happen from September. So the deadlines for the September session would be from February till May. You know, and few universities also offer admissions in March, and its deadlines would be say probably from November to January. So you'll have to check on which season you want to get into and check on the deadlines also. Exams also, as I told you, you have language exams, that is test for German as a foreign language, DSH. Some cases you may also have to appear for GMAT, GRE, TOEFL, or IELTS. Depends upon which degree you are applying for, which university you are applying for. uh, General exams, which is actually required, especially when you talk about GMAT and GRE. So in GMAT, almost all MBA programs in Germany are in English. The language of teaching also would be English. Little bit of German, which is used over there, but they tell you to learn German because overall, when you go outside the university, people over there will be talking in German. That is why German and English both are important. Now, GMAT is a standard exam which is used into business schools. That is why it is important that you give a GMAT exam if you're going there for an MBA. GRE, some of the universities want a GRE score. It is not mandatory for all of them, but it is better if you have a GRE score ready with you. Talking about cost of living, again, it depends a lot on which part of Germany you are staying, whether you're staying in a city, you're staying in a town, depending upon all that, the cost of living varies here and there. School expenses or college, university expenses, if you're talking about. The cost of education is quite low, and in some universities there are no tuition fees. Yeah, but German universities are financed mostly by the state government, and so in some universities, small amount of fees is required, or you have to pay that. Now it depends how much fees you will pay depending upon the location, depending upon what the state has decided upon the amount. So you have to keep that thing in your mind. Very some of them they charge a very nominal fees also. There are private universities also who are financed by fee paid by the students, and the fee here is much higher. So, to such universities, the fee may go up to 20,000 euros per year. Living expenses, when you talk about that, generally it is 670 euros per month or 700 euros per month, depending upon which cities, which town you stay, how much you spend, etc. Okay. Talking about loan, so if you want a loan, this I'm talking about specifically for Indians. It differs for Americans, for other nationalities. I'm talking about only Indians. So student criteria: you have to be an Indian national. You must have a strong academic record. You must be seeking admission to a professional, technical, or other course of study. The selected course should be job oriented. You must have secured admission to a foreign university institution, and the age of the person who's studying should be 18 years. And if not, then you have to see that your parents, can pay off the loan. Now, for graduation, job-oriented professional or technical courses are offered by reputed universities. For post-graduation, as you all know, MCA, MBA, MS, even some diplomas are used. Loan amount, 80% of the yes, hello, any doubts? Okay. Let me continue. So when you're talking about the loan amount, 80% of the loan amount is given by the bank, 20% has to be paid by you. Okay. Documentation, you need to confirm with the banks what all documentation is needed. Repayment of the loan starts after the student gets employed, 1 year after completing the courses. The loan is generally to be paid within 5 to 7 years after the repayment starts. Okay, maximum number of years is 10 years. Now, when you're talking about visa, you have to appear for the visa. You have to go, for an interview. The visa amount is generally around 60 euros, and you have to have different kind of documents, application form, a declaration form, covering letter about reason for your visa application. Maybe you will also have to submit some German translations, maybe your birth certificate or school living certificate or your other certificate like 10th standard, 12th standard that has to be translated in German, and you have to submit that also. Letter of admission has to be, given. Then, as I told you, degree certificates and mark sheets has to be given in English as well as in German. Your language test proficiency, GMAT, GRE, all that has to be provided. Proof of funds has to be provided when you want a visa. Now, work permit, when you're talking about that, according to German visa rules, a student can work 180 days half time or 90 days full time in an academic year. So many of them they also work along with studying. So it depends upon what kind of visa you have got. So you'll have to check that and then use this. You cannot work more than that stipulated number of hours or number of days. Visa for spouse. spouses and children may be permitted to reside in Germany when you're studying, but again, it is conditional. It includes only if you can show that you have appropriate finance or funds available with you, and you have no issues if your spouse and kids also stay there. Okay, this is just a kind of a checklist, things that you need to check after submitting the application. Pre-departure list, see that the airline tickets well, arrange for accommodation, transportation from the airport to the place where you're staying, see that you have a proper traveler's check or exchanges that you can take over there. See that you make photocopies of all the certificates, all the documents that are required over there, passports, travel insurance certificates, copy of visa, copy of the letter of acceptance, or medical records, history, academic history, and university transcripts. All these, make a file of it, make a two, three copies, keep one in bag, one with you. You need to have two, three of them so that in case anything is lost, you have something ready with you. Yeah, this is giving you a few top ranking universities. Probably this will help you to search on more, or it will narrow down your university searches. So first one is Technical University of Munich, then Ruprecht Karl University of Heidelberg, Free University of Berlin, Technical University of Berlin, Ludwig Maximilian University of Munich, Humboldt University of Berlin, RWTH Aachen, Albert Ludwigs University of Freiburg, Johann Wolfgang Goethe University of Frankfurt am Main, Dresden University of Technology. These are the top ranking universities of Germany. You can, do research from these universities, which course you want to do, which course these universities provide, how comfortable it is with you. Many of these students I have seen, they travel to Aachen, especially RWTH. Many Indians go over there to study in that university in Aachen. All right. These are just a few greetings and farewells that I wanted to just take you all through, which is in German, so that you just realize or get a little bit of feel of how German language is. So these are just a few common greetings that they use, like how we say good morning, good day, or good afternoon, good evening, and good night. So I've just given you a German equivalent. Guten Morgen is good morning. Guten Tag is good day or good afternoon. Guten Abend, good evening, and Gute Nacht is good night. Yeah. We also have a greeting like hello or hi, which is used 24 hours. Anytime you can use this greeting. The greetings that we had done earlier, it is time specific. This is not time specific. You can use it anytime. Most common farewells that we use when you want to depart from somebody, say goodbye. These are different ways of saying it. Auf Wiedersehen or Wiedersehen. That means goodbye. Tschüss is again goodbye, but it is used in a informal way. Bis dann means see you then. Bis später, see you later. Später, just a short form that we use. Later, bis bald, see you soon. So these are a few common farewells that are used. Again, like in India, we have regional differences in Germany also. If you go to the northern part, instead of saying hello or guten Morgen, you will hear people using this word like moin moin. In the southern part of Germany or in Switzerland, in Austria, you will find these words very commonly used. Grüß Gott, Grüß dich, Servus, Grüezi. Again, for goodbye, as we had done Auf Wiedersehen, Tschüss, and See Out, which are commonly used in all over Germany, you will hear people saying Auf Wiederschauen and Servus in the southern part of Germany, in Austria, and in Switzerland. In Switzerland, you have a different dialect of the German language, so you will also hear people saying "Auf Wiederluge." Yeah. Okay. So I had spoken about why German language is important, career opportunities for if you know German language, and what all requirements are needed if you want to study in Germany. I haven't spoken about myself, so let's just give you a brief.
Yeah, Nara, just we were thinking if we can put on the camera and introduce because I think that was one, like you said, you misunderstood, right?
Yeah, I am actually having some internet issues. That is why I had put off my camera.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Let me just introduce. I have my photo also here, so I think people will be able to see that. Yeah. So this is me. So basically, I'm having more than 13 plus years of corporate teaching. I generally teach German language in corporate sector. I also do translations, interpretations, and few marketing research activities. I have got around few of the awards you might have seen since past 3 4 years. I've taught in many organizations. A few of them I've already written here, like Ardian, Nordbrenzer, Sintel, Lenze, Wipro, Bentler, Bayer, Allianz, MTU, Baumüller, Onward, Expert Global. These are just a few to name. I have done my German language proficiency up to say Eins, that is C1 level, from Goethe Institute, that is Pune. I have also studied German culture from Goethe Institute, Mumbai. So I also do Indo-German cultural trainings, wherein I teach Indian culture to the Germans and German culture to Indians. So this is about me. If you have any other questions, I would be really happy to answer that. Anybody who's having any questions, so maybe we can have some uh, time for question answers where I can answer and clear your doubts. Anybody?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
For English taught courses, is there need a German language certificate?
For English courses, see again, it depends from which university you're doing. I would always recommend that you learn German at least up to B1 level, because most of the universities would require, and if not university, for visa purpose, they may require. So it's always better if you know, learn German language if you want to study or work in Germany.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yes. Anybody else? Any questions?
Yeah, anyone? Like when to do? How much time would it take? Any questions that you may have, you can feel free to ask. Okay. I think we are good, Zara. No
Yes.
questions from anyone. Thank you very much, Zara, for your time.
Most welcome.
Getting in deep related to German language. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Deepak,
Yeah,
and
and
thank you to all the participants who had attended. I hope it was beneficial and they liked the session.
Thank you, ma'am, for all the information.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
bye.
Thank you.